Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस आचार्य अष्टोत्तर छता श्रीमद अभय शरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फन आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की, नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. So today we are going to discuss from Canto 3, Chapter 21, conversation between Manu and Kardama. So the text 3. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 3. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahuti vishruta patni prajapate rukta kardamasya tvaya naga. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahuti vishruta patni prajapate rukta kardamasya tvaya naga. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahuti vishruta patni prajapate rukta kardamasya tvaya naga. Prabhuji. Tasya vai duhita devahuti vishruta patni prajapate rukta harganmasya kaya naga. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahuti vishruta patnir prajapate rukta kardamasya tvaya naga. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahuti vishruta pate rukta kardamasya tvaya naga. Word to word translation. Tasya, of that Manu, vai, indeed, duhita, the daughter, Brahman, O holy Brahmana, Devahuti, named Devahuti, iti, thus, Vishruta, was known, Patni, wife, Prajapati, of the Lord of created beings, Ukta, has been spoken of, Kardamasya, of Kardama Muni, Tvaya, by you, Anaga, O sinless one. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat with me. O holy Brahmana, O sinless one, you have spoken of his daughter, known by the name Devahuti, as the wife of the sage Kardama, the Lord of created beings. Purport. So here we are speaking of Swayambhuva Manu, but in Bhagavad Gita we hear about Vaivasvata Manu. The present age belongs to the Vaivasvata Manu. Swayambhuva Manu was previously ruling, and his history begins from the Varaha age, or the millennium when the Lord appeared as the boar. There are 14 Manus in one day of the life of Brahma, and in the life of each Manu there are particular incidents. The Vaivasvata Manu of Bhagavad Gita is different from Swayambhuva Manu. Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Shurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Maiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Runda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today the text 3, I'll read the translation one more time. O holy Brahman, O sinless one, you have spoken of his daughter known by name Devahuti as the wife of the sage Kardama, the Lord of created beings. So this verse is this chapter is even a conversation between Manu and Kardama, and this chapter and subsequent chapter we discussing the pastimes of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So this is just like this verse is like an introduction verse where they are the verse is introducing Devahuti and Kardama Muni, the introduction kind of thing. But if you see the purport, Srila Prabhupada was focusing on Manus. So here we are speaking of Swayambhuva Manu, but in Bhagavad Gita we hear about Vaivasvata Manu. So the present age belongs to Vaivasvata Manu. Swayambhuva Manu was previously ruling, and his history begins from the Varaha age or the millennium when the Lord appeared as the boar. So in the purport, Prabhupada was emphasizing more on the different Manus and the thing. So today we'll try to discuss about the various Manus and see in so far in various scriptures like Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we hear about Manus in bits and pieces in various verses. And so today we try to get some consolidated, complete view of the Manus. What is their role? How many Manus are there? How they divide in a one day of Brahma, and some of the other important messages we can try to learn and understand from this topic. So to begin this, we have to go back to the creation of the material world by Brahma. So first Brahma created 4 Kumaras to create the progenies. But the 4 Kumaras they were more devotional, they were not ready to take the order from Brahma to create the progeny. So then they refused Brahma's order. So Brahma got angry. And from his anger, through between the eyebrows, the Rudra was generated. And Rudra agreed to create the progenies, but he created all the ghosts and they were devouring the material world. And Brahma said, okay, stop this, you continue with your penance and austerity. So then after that Brahma started continuing the meditation. Then he created sages. I think total 10 sages he created. And then Narada was one among them. And in the same continuation, further, like if you see, like from the shadow of Brahma, one more sage was created, he is Kardama Muni. So the Kardama Muni is the son of Brahma. And so after some time, so he created the sages to further to increase the progeny population. But he was realized that, okay, it's not happening going as per the expectation. The progeny is not getting created. So then he was further thinking and meditating on Vishnu. Then the 2 bodies, one male and one female body came. Those are, one is Swayambhuva Manu and other one is Shatrupa, his wife. So he is the first story, first creation of the Manu from the Brahma. It's a Swayambhuva Manu and Shatrupa. So he took the order from Brahma to create the progeny. But at the time, earth was submerged in the water. So then Brahma again he started meditating. Then Lord Vishnu, Varaha appeared, Supreme Lord appeared as Varaha. So, and then Varaha, we know all the past times we read, the Varaha had a fight with Hiranyaksha and then he killed Viranyaksha and then he restored the earth. So after that, in the subsequent chapters, we started hearing how Brahma was doing, like he was creating Vedas, and after that he continued creating all other we had Kinnera, Kimpurusha, Yakshas, demons, everything he started creating. But before that he created Swayambhuva Manu. So the Kardama, Maitreya and Vidura in the discussion, Vidura was asking what did Swayambhuva Manu did to create the progeny. And this is where this chapter started, where they were explaining about the Swayambhuva Manu. In the yesterday's verse, it was discussed about Swayambhuva Manu's sons. And in today's verse, we are talking about the Devahuti. Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. So this is how the history, if you track down the history of the incidents, so this is how the first Manu was created from Brahma and to create the progeny. So if you see Swayambhuva Manu, it's a name, first name. So how the name was given to this Manu, Swayambhuva Manu? Because who's the father of this Swayambhuva Manu? Is Brahma. Brahma is Swayambhu. So he is the son of the Brahma who is Swayambhu. So his name is named as Swayambhuva Manu. It's not Swayambhu, it's a Swayambhu. So if you see the letter line is there on top of, so it's a stretching, So Swayambhuva Manu. So he's the son of Swayambhu, the Brahma. Similarly, we can see the examples. Son of Vasudev, right? Like even son of Kunti, Kaunte. So like that here, he also Swayambhuva Manu is the son of Brahma, Swayambhu. And we can also see that here the example in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, which Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani, we see Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. So Saraswati Devi, so he is the disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So that's how we can see how the names are evolved in the previously. So this is one aspect, how the name was given to this Swayambhuva Manu. And the next one is, we will discuss more about the Manus. Before that, we try to understand what are the various incarnations, different types of incarnations of Supreme Lord. Any idea? In the previous cantos, with different incarnations, types, not names, very different types of incarnations of Supreme Lord. What are these? Yeah, you're right. Purushavatara, Leelavatara, Gunavatara, Yugavatara, Shaktyaavesha Avatara, and Manvantara Avatara. So, here the word we need to see, the one of the incarnations is Manvantara Avatara. And see, if you see the Shaktyaavesha Avatara is nothing but it's not Supreme Lord directly incarnate coming down, but he is identifying the Jiva, he is empowering Jiva with all the energy Shaktis, so that he will be doing on behalf of Supreme Lord. That is Shaktyaavesha Avatar. We can say in the many commentary purports, Prabhupada was mentioning, Jesus was one of the Shaktyaavesha Avatar, because he himself is a messenger of God. Right? He's not the God. He never said he is a God. Right? So, and next, even Muhammad Prophet also, he is a Shaktyaavesha Avatar. He is a messenger of God. Similarly, we can say Srila Prabhupada also is one of the messenger of the God. So, various the Jivas are empowered to preach, propagate the God's message. They are all Shaktyaavesha Avatar. And the other one is Yugavatara also, we can see. Any guess who is one of the Yugavatara incarnations? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, it says that Yugavatara. For each Yuga, there will be one incarnation of the Lord, that is Yuga. So, same Krishna appears in the different various Leelavatara. He performed when he comes as the Leelavatara, he does all the Leelas. And Purushavataras, we know like Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, all the Purushas like. And Gunavatara, modes with like Shiva, Brahma, they are all incarnations. Similarly, this Yugavatara and the Leela Avatara we discussed. So the Manvantara Avatara, this is where we need to focus a little bit on this. So we heard about Manus, and we also hearing about Manvantara. And there is another verse in Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 10th chapter, 1st verse. Atra sargo visargasya Sthana Poshana Uttaya Manvantara Sarga Visarga Sthana Poshana Utti Manvantara Ishanukata Nirodha Mukti Ashraya. So in that case, there is a one subject, 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the subject matter is Manvantara. So we can see the various references of Manvantara. It is mentioned in Bhagavatam. So how we connect this Manus and Manvantara? What is the relation? Right? So if you see it was mentioned in the previous places. It was each Manu in one day of Brahma. There are 14 Manus. Right? So in 14, it's one day means 12 hours. Day, it's only day. One day of Brahma. It's again night will have 12 hours. So in one day of Brahma, there will be 12 Manus. And this one day of Brahma, again, it's categorized into 1000 Divya Yugas or Kalpas. One Divya Yuga is nothing but, it's a combination of it's a Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. This is called one Kalpa or one Divya Yuga. Similar to these 4 Yugas together, 1000 times, that is the 12 hours of Brahma. During this 12,000 Kalpas, 1000 Divya Yugas, 14 Manus will be administrating. So, if you see the calculation, each Manu will have almost 71 years. So, each Manu will be ruling the 71 years. Sorry? Yes, this 71 Divya Yugas. So, in the day of Brahma, in the present day of Brahma, it was started with Swayambhuva Manu. And now, again, the Manvantara Manu, so the difference is, for each Manvantara, each Manu, when he was administrating, there is an incarnation of Supreme Lord that will be happening. That is called Manvantara incarnation. So, for each of the 14 Manus, there will be one incarnation, Manvantara incarnation of Supreme Lord. So that is called Manvantara. Like if you see the past time, when Swayambhuva Manu was trying to create the progeny, and after getting the orders from Brahma, he was trying to go to the place, earth. He was trying to but earth was submerged in the water. That is where when there is any disturbance, when there is any trouble on the earth planet in this universe, then the Lord incarnates as a Manvantara avatara. So Varaha is the one of the Manvantara avataras in the first for Swayambhuva, during the Swayambhuva Manu period. So what he did, he came and rescued the earth so that Swayambhuva Manu can continue creating the progeny. So like that, for each Manu there will be an incarnation of, like if you see that in Samudra Manthan Leela, so the Ajit is the incarnation of, in that Manu, it's a different Manu. I think it's before Manu, I think Chakshusha, if I can remember correctly, Chakshusha Manu. Before this, current Manu is Vaivasvata Manu. Before this, it is the Chakshusha Manu. In the Chakshusha Manu period, which Lord incarnated as Ajit, the tortoise for the Samudra Manthan Leela. So, like that, whenever there is any disturbance, any difficulty, to support Manu, the Lord will incarnate as a Manvantara avatara. So that is one thing. So if you see that this some of the numbers, so in one day of Brahma we will have 14 Manus, and that one day is it's like 1000 Divya Yugas. And if you see, every Manu will have 71 Divya Yugas. So current Divya Yuga is 28th Divya Yuga. So already 20 out of 71 in the current stage, which we are in the Vaivasvata Manu, this is the 28th Divya Yuga. And if you see, in 1 month of Brahma, in that case, if you see in 1 day of Brahma, it will be 14. In that case, if you see the 1 month of Brahma, we will have 420 Manus. Similarly, if you see the 100 years, Brahma lives for 100 years, right? So in that case, if you see 5040 into 100. So you can imagine, you can do the calculation and see how many Manus are involved in this administrating the material universe. Now another thing, these things are mentioned in Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, many scriptures. One of the evidence we can say, I want to put for show here is in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 3 in the 8th verse. This Ekatara Chaturyuge Eka Manva Antara Chauda Manvantara Brahmara Divasa Bitra. So this is what in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it was mentioned. The translation is 71 Divya Yugas constitute one Manvantara. There are 14 Manvantaras in 1 day of Brahma. So this is, we can see one reference for the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And not only that, there is a book, Vedic scripture called Surya Siddhanta. It was a very Vedic old literature, and it was translated in Bengali by famous mathematician and astro philosopher, like professor. And he translated that in Bengali. After that, this is the Surya Siddhanta. After translating this literature into Bengali, he was named as Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Siddhanta. So he's like the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he translated this Surya Siddhanta, which contains all these details, whatever we are reading. So he translated, and then after that he was honored as Siddhanta Saraswati. So that is one thing we can see. And the next is different Manus. And we'll see the different Manus who is father, and we may think that why we need this. I'll also explain why we need to, if we listen and hear what would be the beneficial for, how it is beneficial for us, we will also try to see. But before that, we try to see who are the 14 Manus for this universe currently. So first one we heard about Swayambhuva Manu. And we also said there will be for each Manu, there will be incarnation of Supreme Lord, that is called Manvantara, right? So we'll also, I'll read out. Please listen. So Swayambhuva Manu is the first Manu. In that, Supreme Lord incarnated as Yajna. And the second Manu is Farochisa Manu. And during that time, Supreme Lord incarnated as Vibhu. And third Manu is Uttama Manu. And during that time, Supreme Lord has incarnated as Satyasena. And Tamasa Manu, it was named Hari. And Raivata Manu, it was Vaikunta, the Supreme Lord incarnated as Vaikunta. And Chakshusha Manu, so this is one before the current, it is Ajita. That's where we said he took the Lord appeared as incarnation Ajita, and he was involved in Samudra Manthan Leela. And today in this current Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, Supreme Lord incarnated as Vaman. We know past times of Bali and Vaman, Bali Maharaj and Vaman, right? So that Vaman is incarnated as is a Manvantara avatara for this current Manu. And like what happened, if you remember the Leela, in Bali Maharaj occupied the position of Indra. Now he occupied then all the demigods and Indra approached Brihaspati. Since Bali Maharaj is very powerful, there is no point in fighting with him. So Brihaspati told all the demigods and Indra that wait until the right time comes. So then Bali Maharaj occupied the position. But thing is, see, in any one Manu space, out of 14 Manus, like every Manu will have 71 years, right? So during that 71 years, there are certain things are fixed, like Indra's position, and this is fixed. We cannot change. We cannot change until the Manu changes. But in this case, something different happened. What happened? Bali, since because of his power, he occupied the position, but he is not having the required qualification. He took the position, then he is looking he is trying to understand that he doesn't have the required qualification to become Indra. Then after referring the various scriptures, the Vedas, then he realized that he has to do 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas to get the qualification of Indra. Then he did the 99th Ashwamedha Yajnas, and Indra was already approached Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord came as a Vamana. So again, the Manvantara avatar, as I mentioned, any disturbance, anything comes on the material universe, Supreme Lord will come as Manvantara. So Lord appeared as Vamana, and we know the past time, Bali, how he saved the, how he cursed Bali, and then after that what happened, we know the past times. So this is in the Vaivasvata Manu, it is the Vamana. And in next Manu is after Vaivasvata Manu, the future Manu. So far, up to now, we know all the things happened, and now the future Manus. Savarni Manu is, and the Supreme Lord will be coming as Sarvabhauma. And Daksha Savarni Manu, in that Rishabh is coming as Lord Vishnu is coming as Rishabh. And Brahma Savarni Manu is Lord is coming as Vishwaksena. And the Dharma Savarni Manu is the 11th Manu, Lord Vishnu is coming as Dharma Setu. And Rudra Savarni Manu is Sudama. And Deva Savarni Manu, that is 13th Manu, is Yogeshwara. And Indra Savarni Manu is Brihad Banu. So these are the various Manus and how the Lord is coming. And we also, there are many if we see, there are who is the father of each Manu also mentioned. So I will not go into the detail, but we can refer it. So, but now, next thing, why these details? If we hear these names, if we understand, try to go to all the 14 Manus, their fathers, and who is the Supreme Lord, what is the beneficial, in what way it is beneficial. First thing, see, in the current Yuga, many people will come and say, they'll claim, okay, I am the God, I am the Supreme Lord. But in our scriptures, whenever Supreme Lord is coming, he is descending onto this planet, there are scriptures having all the evidences. This is one of the evidences. If the Krishna Supreme Lord is coming, means he is coming in the different incarnations. This is one evidence where in the scriptures it is available that, so he is going to come, like next, we are in the 7th Manu, and remaining 7 Manus coming, and Manus incarnation and the Manvantara avatar is happening. So that will tell that the Vishnu is going to come in the various different forms. So it is mentioned in the scriptures. So it's not something, so in future, nobody can claim that he is a Supreme Lord like that. Cheating, they cannot cheat anyone that he is a Supreme Lord. Even their fathers, all names also mentioned. That will clearly tell us who is the father of this Manvantar. And the next one is in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 13th chapter, text 3, it was mentioned. Again, it is between the conversation between the Vidura and Maitreya. So, what is the beneficial of hearing these names? I'll read out the translation purport. So, hearing the topics of the Lord and hearing of the character of the activities of the few devotees of the Lord have the same riddle, namely development of devotional service. So, when we hear these things, because even Manu is also Shakti-avesh avatar. He is the incarnation of Krishna. So, and Manvantara is also incarnation. When we hear about these people, these Supreme Lord and the devotees, it will purify our consciousness. So that is one of the advantage. So why we have to hear all these names and these? So if we hear it, we will have our consciousness will be purified, and we will be able to progress in our Krishna conscious way. And some people may argue, what is the authentic? That what is the guarantee that these details are correct? Whatever is mentioned in the book is correct, right? This was spoken by this Bhagavatam was spoken by Brahma, Supreme Lord only. So Supreme Lord know all the things. Like if you, let's say like a material example. In the current now, today we are sitting. Morning we attended Mangalarti, we know, and after Mangalarti we do Japa, and then we attend Guru Puja and all the then Bhagavatam class. And after that, we go for prasadam, and then we do all other activities. So this plan is there just for as a normal condition living being. We know just in next 3 to 4 hours what we are going to do. Whether it will happen or not, that is different. But we know the idea is there. Plan will be there. Similarly, when if you see the Mahavishnu, all the universes are created when he breathes in, and so breathe in, and when he is breathing, then universes will be created. When he exhale, breathe out, all the universes will be created, and when he breathes in, all the universes will be going inside. So the time it takes, you can imagine how much time it will take to breathe in and breathe out, right? So during that period, 100 days of Brahma is finishing, right? Just it's a matter of small fraction of second, we can imagine. During that one breathe in and breathe out, 100 days of Brahma is finished. See how much time? See, like for a normal conditioned soul, just 4 hours we know what we are going to do. Supreme Lord, just fraction of second, can't he know what he is going to do and what is. So that's where we can understand whatever the mentioned in the scriptures, it is real. So just in a fraction of second, he is breathing and breathing out, breathe in and breathing out. Then during that is consisting of 100 days of Brahma, 100 years of Brahma. So we can so that during that period, you know who all are going to, which are the Manu coming, who all are the Manus coming, all those things he is aware. So those things it is available in the scriptures. Next thing, if you see the 20, this current Chaturya Yuga, current Manu is 28th Divya Yuga, right? This at the in the Dwapara Yuga, who took the incarnation of this 28th Chaturya in the current age, Lord Krishna appeared. So in one day of Brahma, Lord Krishna himself comes into this material world only once. And that one time is falling into our current Manvantara. It is Vaivasvata Manu. That's a one, it's our fortunate. The reason, once, any time, whenever Lord Krishna appears, he himself descends into this material world. After doing his Leela, when he leaves, then subsequently Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends into this material world. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends, then after that, Srila Prabhupada will come. So this is the sequence. This will happen only one day of Brahma, once in one time. It happens only one time in a one day of Brahma. That happened in our current age, current Manvantara is Vaivasvata Manu, where we are in this. So that is the fortunate thing. It is our fortunate where Krishna has descended and he spoke Bhagavad Gita directly, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He is most merciful incarnation of Supreme Lord. Like we know, getting the mercy of, if you have to get the mercy of Krishna, you have to sarva dharma parityaja mameka sharanam raja. Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita. But whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he doesn't see your surrenderness or anything. Simply he is pure, so merciful. So he gives Krishna prema just like that. So that is our opportunity. Even Srila Prabhupada told the same thing. What he said, just you chant 16 rounds, follow regulating principles, then I will take them you took back to Godhead. I guaranteed. 3 times he told. So any sage or any person, if the senior, that sage like Prabhupada and all, if they say 3 times, it means very confirmed. It's a assured. That's what we have to do. If they told 3 times, it's a take it for granted, it will happen. So that's why Prabhupada told, I will surely take you back to Godhead. It's guaranteed. He told 3 times. So though we don't have the qualification, the Prabhupada came and gave that assurance. Not only that, Prabhupada told, if you are, the people told, we are not qualified, we are come to the back Goloka or any spiritual world, but Krishna, what Prabhupada told, I have a back door key, I will get you there through back door, but I should. So that's the how, so we are so merciful that we got under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are all things happened in the current age. All other Manvantaras, they don't get these opportunities. They might be having the different leelas will happen, but the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the next Manvantara visa, what is the other Savarni Manu. During the Savarni Manu, again Prabhupada will not come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not be there. But they will have a different leelas. But so the most merciful incarnation of Lord appeared in our current Manvantara. So we are so fortunate that we should all utilize this opportunity fully, so that the purpose will be our purpose. We can easily go back to Godhead, and we can take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. He also assured. So we can. That's why we are very fortunate falling into taking birth in this Manvantara, particularly during the age of Srila Prabhupada. So the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, right, that 10,000 years of the Kali Yuga is golden period. That is where the Krishna conscious things will be progressed. After that, Kali will take over. You will not have these opportunities to progress in your spiritual life, right? So this is the most, that's why we are very fortunate to take birth in this Manvantara, and particularly when Srila Prabhupada is on the earth planet. And as in the beginning we also discussed it, there is a 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. And one of the subject matter is Manvantara. In the second canto, again 10th chapter, we recited that verse. And there is one more verse, which is talking about Manvantara. How important it is. What it does. Actually in the Manvantara, what is how it will beneficial. So if you read, I'll recite the verse. Stitir Vaikunta Vijaya Poshanam Tad Anugraha Manvantara Sadharma Uttaya Karma Vasana. If you see that third line, Manvantarani Sadharma. So in the Manvantara period, what will happen? They will try to establish Sat Dharma. So the right religious principles they will establish. So how we can understand? There is a famous quotation in Mahabharata, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. So if you follow Dharma, Dharma will protect you. So how we can understand? So suppose you have a gun, and for your protecting yourself, you got a license for the gun and you kept it in your house. But suddenly thieves or some terrorists or someone will be coming and attacking on you. But they came and they killed you and they left. But the gun is there. You have not used the gun, and so they came and killed. Similarly, if you are trying to protect some items, if some animal's cat or dog is trying to take those items, if you have a little stick next to it, but you keep the stick, but you don't use it, what will happen? The animal, the dog or cat, whatever, it comes and takes all the whatever foods you have kept. It will take it. So what does it mean? So if you have something, weapon or some stick or pistol, gun is there, but if you are not using, it will not going to help you. Similarly, dharma is there. If you don't utilize it, it will not protect you. How we can understand further? So dharma, like as per our four regulative principles, and after that we need to do chanting. Chanting we need to 16 rounds minimum, right? That is our daily sadhana. That is for our purification. But that is one part of dharma. What is the other part of dharma? In the Kali Yuga, what is recommended? Sankirtan yajna. Right? So we need to do the Sankirtan yajna. We need to preach. We need to go out and do the Nagara Sankirtan. Right? That is another dharma. If you don't do it, it's of no use. So sadhana, japa is only your individual growth. But you need to pass the message of the God to whole world. So that is also practicing dharma. So when you do this dharma, like doing your own japa as well as doing the sankirtan, that is the main dharma of the Kali Yuga. So if you do these two things, the dharma will take care. Dharma, if you practice these two dharma principles, then dharma will protect you. The dharma rakshati rakshita. And this Swayambhuva Manu wrote the Manu Samhita. Right? Manu Samhita, we must have, Prabhupada in various commentaries, purports, he was referring to the Manu Samhita. So the Manu Samhita is a book for the manual for all the human beings. So it will maintain all the do's and don'ts. Every person who is taking birth in this material universe, what are the do's and don'ts. It also explains for each varnashrama. Suppose ashram, brahmacharya, ashrama is the different four ashramas, right? For each of the ashrama, what are the do's and don'ts? For each of the varnas, what are the do's and don'ts? And for each of the yuga, so what are the prescribed duties and what are not to do? So all these things are mentioned in Manu Samhita. So this is the book manual for all the mankind. And if you see the Manu, we call Manusha, right? The Sanskrit word, we call all the human beings are Manusha. It was derived from Manu only. Manu, because we all are descendants of Manu, so that's why we all are Manusha. If you say in English also, it's a man, M-A-N, man, right? So if you see Manu also, it starts with in the Manu, M-A-N is there. So that also we can see the connection. So we are the descendants of Manu, so we call it Manusha. That's why we became Manusha. And the manual which we have to follow is Manu Samhita. So this is all briefly about all the Manus and various different details related to Manu. So any comments? Yes, Prabhuji.
Just trying to understand the Manvantara and Manvantara avatar.
Yes.
For example, Swayambhuva Manu is the son of Lord Brahma.
Yes.
And there is Swayambhuva, in Swayambhuva Manvantara, the avatar is named as
Yajna.
So the Manus themselves are considered as partial incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes.
So that means if we take Swayambhuva Manu, is a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Yajna, he is Krishna himself.
Yes, Supreme Lord incarnated as a Yajna is that's a Manvantara incarnation of Krishna, whereas this Swayambhuva Manu is a Shaktaveshta incarnation. Let's wait, we can. So the Leela, in the beginning I summarized the various incarnations of Krishna, right? Supreme Lord, Yuga Avatara, Leela Avatara, Guna Avatara. In the two avatars there, Manvantara Avatara and Shaktaveshta Avatara. Shaktaveshta Avatara is direct incarnation of a Lord for each Manu. Whereas Manus are like, so Manvantara Avatara is a direct incarnation of Lord. Whereas Manus are Shaktaveshta incarnation. Shaktava means the living entity who is empowered with all the to administer and propagate the message of God.
So Manvantara Avatara
is Vishnu, Krishna.
For example, Vishnu himself.
Yeah, Krishna, Vishnu.
Whereas the Manu, they are kind of, can we say, less potent because
Jivas, but the God,
they're only mentioned as partial incarnation.
Yeah. Partial incarnation, that is well Shaktaveshta incarnation like that.
So these Manus, like 14 you actually mentioned in one day of Brahma,
Yeah.
they all keep on changing, or will they be coming, same people will be coming?
No, they will be like, that's what, there will be different people. Each Manu, after 71 years, the changes will happen, so different Manu will come and take.
So different personality.
Yes, like that's why if you see I wanted to read out the father of each Manu, that will clearly tell it's a different Manu. Like it was mentioned in the scripture, like if you see, Swayambhuva Manu's father is Brahma, and Swarochita Manu's father is Agni, and Uttama Manu is Priyavrata. So like different father, like they took the birth from different people and they became Manus.
So unlike, are they similar to the Indra's post? Because Indra, we actually say, he's not constant, he's a different personality.
Yes, it's like, that's
so similarly, the 14 Manus.
Yes, we can understand that.
So they are all different personalities.
Yes, different personalities. So whenever each Manu changes, the Indra position also will change.
So the Manus, they are also post, not
yeah, we can understand. Like Indra, how Indra.
And that means there are, in the life of Brahma, there are 504,000 incarnations of
Yes, that's what. If for each Manu there will be Manvantara incarnation means yes. Along with Manu, the incarnation will be there, yes. How many Manus are there in 100 years of Brahma? That many incarnations will be there for Lord as well.
And they're full incarnation.
Yes, Manvantara, yeah, full man. Like in the, if you understand the Samudra Manthan in the tortoise, right? The Vishnu. So that is also Manvantara. That is one example we can understand. Like that, in Gajendra Moksha, the Vishnu Hari came, right? So that is also Manvantara incarnation. So if you see in the Bhagavatam, up to 7 cantos, I think it was described about Swayambhuva Manu. In the 8th canto, it was more described about the various other Manus in the 8th canto onwards. That's where it was mentioned all the Leelas, Gajendra Leela and Samudra Manthan Leela, Vaman Leela, all those things were coming in that, I think in the 8th canto only. Those are in relation to the various Manvantara. Because one of the subject matter is Manvantara, right? So while discussing those subject matters in the Bhagavatam, so it was coming in various cantos.
Can we actually say, for example, let's take the first incarnation of the Lord, Yajna, in the Swayambhuva Manvantara. Can we actually say that he is a full incarnation of Krishna? Because, I mean, the way I was confused was, Krishna is also appearing, and also we have got a incarnation of the Manvantara avatar, like Yajna. So can we actually say Yajna represents the full potency of Krishna?
See,
Exactly
like how the Lord appeared in incarnation, it's the same. Like in all Leela like various incarnations, Lord is coming, right? The whatever activities he is performing, it's like the same. But in case of Krishna, Krishna himself coming. That is the difference we can understand. In the 28th Divya Yuga, Krishna himself is coming from the Goloka. But in all other cases, the incarnation process is same. The Lord Krishna, all the incarnations from the material universe will happen through Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, right? That is from there all the incarnations will come. So it's the same way. So, yeah, that's why it's not Manvantara incarnation, one type of incarnation. Apart from that, we have Leela Avatara, Guna Avatara, right? Through all these avatars, Krishna again coming here to perform various things. But this Manvantara is one such incarnation. Any comments, any further? Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhaktarund ki jai.